Hi everyone, so I'm going to do Maybelline Superstay Multi-Use Foundation Stick 102 Fair Porcelain. I think I tried to record a video on this previously. I'm still trying to figure out how to get this to work. I'm just gonna see if I can get this to blend out. Problem is, I get this on my face and I just cannot get it to blend. You know, it just kind of sits where I put it. And if I use a brush, it's gonna settle into my pores like crazy. So, thinking about like maybe getting some on my hand and trying to pick it up with the sponge, then get it on my face. This lipstick is from yesterday. Oh, those Maybelline Superstay matte inks. They're no joke. They are no joke. Some of them wear better than others. I was wearing Voyager, which is a beautiful color, but it is so sticky on me. Not all of them are sticky like that. So if you've had issues with those matte inks being sticky, like beyond the first like 3 minutes, half an hour, they're not all like that. And I don't know if it's just like I really don't know, because this one is in Fighter, I believe, and it's a little sticky but not much. I also have one, Amazonian, wears beautifully on me and is not sticky like at all. Alright, so I'm just like scribbling it on my hand and then kind of picking it up off my hand and then putting it on my face. As you may or may not be able to hear, Jack is awake, so I'm trying to do this quickly. And I should really look at myself in a mirror up close to see how it's going on, to see if it's looking okay or still looking pretty awful. Oh yes. Oh. Ooh. You see this? Look at this. Okay. Fixed it. So like drawing it onto my face just does not seem to work. Getting it on my hand, it looked a little funky up here. And then putting it on my face works better, though you don't get much coverage that way, obviously, because you're just not getting a lot of product on your face at one time. But that's all right, because I would rather that than have it settle into my pores really badly. Like I have to be really careful with it or it starts looking really bad again. Come on, focus, like right in here. How it's like settling into my pores pretty badly. And then when I try to go fix it, it basically picks up the product, which is fine. But if I try to put any more on, I think basically the same thing's gonna happen. I feel like it's not so bad that I have to take it off, which I definitely do. I don't have a high tolerance to foundation that looks bad on me. I do like that it's like a powder finish, because I don't like my skin feeling tacky. I'm gonna take off this lipstick because I mean really, I'm using the Maybelline Superstay Eraser. The e.l.f. lip color remover, also great. It's just this is easier because it's in a balm form. Chantilly from NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, because that's a color that works well for me. Formula that works well for me. I would use my Maybelline Fit Me, but it's way too dark with this foundation color. All right, I'll be back once I'm done with the rest of my face. Cover FX Power Play Foundation in N0. Flesh Thick Stick in Froth, the white. Flesh Thick Stick in 03 Meringue. Maybelline Superstay Stick Foundation in 102 Fair Porcelain. Maybelline Superstay Liquid Foundation in 102 Fair Porcelain. NARS Sheer Glow in Siberia. ColourPop No Filter Foundation in 05 Fair. Anastasia Stick Foundation in Warm Alabaster. Estee Lauder Double Wear in 1C0 Shell. Alright, so that's my makeup done. I did not put any powder on other than a little bit of powder underneath my eyes. Just because it is kind of a powdery finish. I didn't put any blush on, but I did put highlight. I feel like since I didn't have a lot of coverage on my cheeks, it would probably be fine to just let my natural pink in my cheeks kind of show through. Plus I'm going for kind of a cool toned look, so I feel like that kind of cool pink that's coming through the foundation actually works well with the lip and the eye that I have going here. So yeah, you probably could tell from my application part of the video that I don't really love this foundation stick. I want to like it, but it's one of those foundations where I don't know if I'm gonna have to start over. Like it will go on so poorly that I'll have to start over, and I absolutely hate that. I like knowing like I'm gonna consistently get a good application. I understand wear time will vary depending on what I have underneath things, how my skin's doing, etc. But when I can't even consistently get it on my face nicely, that's when I get kind of stressed out. I feel like this is about as good as I can get this foundation to look. Sometimes I can get it looking just a tiny bit better, but in general, I just have problems. And so many times I put it on, had to take everything off and try again, and take everything off and do something else, which is really frustrating. So I would say if you have issues with things settling into your pores, things looking cakey, that kind of thing, I would just steer clear. If you generally don't have application issues with foundation in general, maybe it won't be a problem for you. But it is very much cream to powder finish. So if your skin has issues with like a more dry finish on a foundation, I think that this would also not be a great fit. I was getting some settling into that line, which I just kind of tapped out. So we'll see how it looks. I'm hesitant to put any powder on top just because it's already that powder finish. And it's not looking like really shiny or anything, so I would rather just let it kind of be like this. If there were any sort of tackiness to it, I would definitely set it down, but because my skin can kind of veer back and forth between like oily to dry depending on my hormonal situation, I would just, when I can get away with it, I prefer not to use powder, especially on my cheeks, which are dry to very dry for the most part. So anyway, that is my thoughts so far. If I have time, I will definitely check back with you and show you how it's wearing. All right, so it's been about 4 hours since I applied the foundation. It is 3 o'clock. And I used this today, which is what I've been using for most of the days I've been wearing foundation, which is every day. It's the Cover FX Clear Cover SPF 30, and this is clear, and it's kind of like the Murad Invisablur, but I find this easier to wear like all over my face like regular skincare, but it also has kind of a good slip to it, and generally my foundation wears really well over it, but it does get shiny, greasy a little bit faster. So I did need to blot, and I pretty much saturated this Clean and Clear blotting sheet, which I find these tend to have pretty high capacity as far as the blotting sheet goes. So I was definitely quite shiny, was getting a good amount of oil break through. After I blotted, I feel like a little bit of foundation came off when I blotted, but not a whole bunch. And after I blotted, I felt like I maybe was losing a little coverage. So I decided to powder it with the ColourPop No Filter Sheer Pressed Powder. And this is Unfair. And I used a little bit more of a dense brush to apply that. I used this Sonia Kashuk 130 brush, which is discontinued. And I just kind of pressed it in. And I put that pretty much everywhere. And I feel like it got my skin... It maybe added just a hint of coverage and evened things out a little bit again. So I don't think the patchiness or creasing has gotten worse. I would say it's the same as it was when I put it on. So like my chin looks a little patchy, which is how it looked when I applied it. After I pressed out the kind of creasing settling that was happening in my lines over here, it hasn't gotten worse. My nose also looks just a little patchy, a little streaky, but like I say, it hasn't gotten worse. This is okay. You know, it wasn't great when I first put it on, but I did get it to look good enough from, you know, reasonable distance. If you get right up close, it doesn't look great, but I feel like it's okay. You know, other people aren't going to be, it's not going to be super obvious that it's not looking the best, but I do really like the color, so I probably will continue to wear it. So anyway, I will hopefully check back in with you again, and if not, then I guess this is it. All right, so it's been about almost 10 hours now. I have not blotted so you could see how shiny I am, so pretty much everything's pretty like dewy, approaching oily looking. You know, being in front of all these lights is gonna kind of enhance that, but so pretty similar. This was earlier in the day. This is now similar amount of oil breakthrough. It has been a little bit longer compared to the first check-in. I would say it looks about the same as it did last time, and really when I put it on. So still just kind of a little cakey and heavy looking around my chin area. You know, around my nose, that always looks bad. Nothing sits on that well. So it just looks a little heavy, a little cakey, where I think I tried to build it up a little bit to cover that little like sunspot type mark there. And overall, I'd say it looks fine. You know, it doesn't look good, but it didn't look great to start, and I would say it looks about the same. So I think that's it. Let me know if you have any questions about the foundation or anything else I talked about in this video below. Any comments, if you've tried it, if it worked for you, if you found a way that you could get it to apply better than others, that kind of thing. It'd be super helpful if you could share that in the comments. And just other foundations that work for you or don't work for you. That also is really helpful, just to have kind of a reference point. If you want to see more videos from me, please do subscribe. I have a lot of foundation related stuff out there. I'll link my foundation playlist, which has reviews and swatches and get ready with me's and all that kind of stuff. There's so many more options like coming to the market for very fair skin, which is awesome, and I really enjoy testing these things out, getting to share what I find with you guys. And yeah, so anyway, I would love to have you as a subscriber if you aren't already. And yeah, I think that's everything. Thank you so much for watching and just taking the time out of your day, leaving a comment, giving it a like. All that stuff really helps out my channel, and I do appreciate it so much. And I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon. If I don't have time, then thank you so much for watching and taking the time out of your day to watch and leaving a comment and liking the video, all of that. I really appreciate it, and it does help give my channel a little bit more visibility. So I really, really appreciate that. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon.